怒りを叫べ悲しみを叫べ魂を叫べ今ここで叫べ
What's up, everybody? Welcome to yet another episode of the Yokai Delinquents. I am Sean, Bearded Cappolitan.
And I am Jerry Robo Tengu Smith. And Happy New Year. I think we recorded the first part of our One Piece special this year, right?
I believe it was, January 3rd, because that was my birthday.
Yeah, your birthday. You're a year older. But see, and interesting enough in the way that we release these episodes, somehow this is going to be posted last year. So I don't know how we're going to get that to work, but we'll figure it out later. You know, it's coming out in 2020, and we're recording it in 2021. So we got this. We'll figure it out.
You ruined my big surprise of revealing that we in fact have a TARDIS. And it can go backwards, forwards, and sideways in time. Or however
we have mastered time travel.
Yes.
Yes,
it's true.
Yeah, no, that sounds right. That sounds legit.
But no, we are not going back to 2020. Because while this year certainly hasn't been a lot better so far, we're not at least going back to that. We're not going to go back to 2020. We're glad that's the dust. And hopefully we're mopping up some of the leftovers from vomiting over New Year's Eve.
Hold on a second. This isn't December 42nd, 2020?
Well, is it December 32nd? or seen the other meme, too, of it just going January 1st, 2020. The year doesn't change. It just starts anew. So we are, in fact, here the first recorded just straight up Yokai Delinquents episode of 2021. As we've mentioned it before, like a lot of the stuff we record in advance, but we kind of decided we want to talk about some current events that are actually maybe current upon release. So we let all the old episodes kind of make their trickle out week by week as we did, as well as the One Piece Spectacular and the Final Fantasy special that we had our guests on, but now it's just you and me, Jerry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it was kind of nice. We recorded. We got a bunch in there, and we were able to relax a little bit more during the holiday season. So that's always good.
Yeah. For
now,
sure.
Yeah, and now our spoiler warnings are going to be more effective as ever.
Super effective as ever, because we are now going to be talking about stuff that's happened recently, maybe even came out the very week of recording. So,
we might even be talking about stuff that hasn't even happened yet, because we're just good at predicting things like that.
And we are just time travelers, as we established earlier. But I'll tell you what's on my mind, though, right now. A demo for a video game franchise we are both rather big fans of.
I think we mentioned it in our second or third episode.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the Monster Hunter franchise a little bit earlier on, but Monster Hunter Rise, the next installment, a Nintendo Switch exclusive, is coming out on March 26, 2021. But on I believe the 6th of this month, they released the demo for it, giving us, in the tradition of Monster Hunter, they usually drop a demo that gives us 2 hunts and access to all the various weapons, so you can really get a feel for the game. And this one is a big jump from the last one that was on the Switch, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. If y'all are familiar with Monster Hunter, quick breakdown: you hunt monsters.
That's it. That's the whole game.
I mean, think about it if every action game you ever went and played, where you had to fight through the levels and fight through a bunch of minions to get to the big boss encounter, which is always epic. Monster Hunter cuts all that bullshit out and just throws you straight at the boss fight.
Exactly.
with up to 3 of your friends and or feline and now doggo companions. And the last one they put out was World. And that one brought a big change to the franchise because the game has always been kind of notoriously tough to get into. I think I've said it before on here, but if not, if it wasn't for the fact that you, Jerry, and our buddy John had played with me when we all picked up Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, I probably would not have stuck with this game because the older ones have a bit of a steep learning curve. But playing with your friends and like you two made it a lot easier for me to kind of get in and really kind of get hooked into it.
But, right, bro. Like it was pretty great. So I got a Switch for Christmas. Steph got me a Switch. Yeah. So I was like, yay, what's the first thing I'm gonna do? And then I saw that because I think you were playing it and you mentioned Generations Ultimate.
Yeah.
Was actually on sale for $15. Right. So I got it and I got Stephanie to get it and I forgot like the learning curve and they don't send you a tutorial. It's like that little comic, that we share where it's like, he's like the leader's talking about like, all right, get ready to go hunt, blah, blah, blah. And then one of the rookies are like, what about a tutorial? And he was like, what the fuck's a tutorial? And then it just shows mass chaos and like someone getting eaten by a monster. Yeah, Steph got to experience that firsthand. But she's really picked the game up, and she's doing Sword and Shield right now and slaying monsters and everything. And we've played a bit of this demo, and it was actually kind of funny because I forgot there was going to be a live event at all for this, and like when they were going to make announcements, because when everything dropped, I went to bed like unnaturally early. Like I usually can't get to bed very early at all. Somehow went to bed super early. And I was just going to, wake up and read my High Republic novel that I got myself for Christmas.
Right on.
And was scrolling through Facebook and saw that there was a countdown on the Monster Hunter Facebook page. And I was like, oh, cool. And that's when they showed the new trailer and some of the new features and announced the demo. And it was very exciting.
Oh, for sure. Sadly, I wasn't able to watch it live, but I got several YouTubers that had links to it, and so I was able to watch just the replay of the event, and it was cool. And of course, revealing some new monsters and seeing a whole bunch. I mean, you can go through the trailer and pick out the new armor sets and stuff that you can see in there. But we got the demo, and for those who haven't played like World or any of the newer ones, or only play, like, say, the older ones and never picked up World, they made a lot of quality of life changes.
Oh, man.
That they have now implemented into Rise. So basically, Rise is very much Monster Hunter World on the Switch, with obviously not quite the same graphical quality. But again, I've always said I don't give a shit about graphics. Just make it fun. And don't get me wrong, World is a beautiful game, and it plays fantastic, just like Monster Hunter. But I feel like we really got burned out of World a lot quicker than we did on 4. But
my biggest thing on World that kind of like sort of killed it for me a little early on is like some of the designs and stuff were just so similar. Like for weapons, like different weapons and stuff, because I was rocking like Gunlance, and it's like, okay, so it's like the same piece of metal that we had on the last one, but like with a different tinted like skin attached to it. And I was just like, come on, you guys could do more than that. And it looks like they're actually like going hard on the like unique designs for Rise.
No, I completely agree with that. It was the boredom I was having of my look that maybe once they offered like gender swap options for your character.
Yeah,
I switched to female just to see what the armor, and the armor looks so significantly different. I've been playing female characters since because maybe it's a Japan audience thing. Maybe, I mean, we all appreciate a good-looking female if that's your thing. But I don't know. The designs so far have looked, in the older games, have looked to me a lot more intricate, more detailed, a lot cooler on a female character. But I will say, so far from what I've seen on Rise, because they've shown some of the male-female versions, like they stepped it up for the bros. Because like I'm probably gonna stick with female, but like there's one set I already saw where I was like, dude, the male looks so much better, which so they've like, I'm loving the Japanese aesthetic. Like, and there has been in the past, they've had Yumiko Village, I believe it was called. That was very, very much a Japanese aesthetic to this. But this one looks like the main village, a lot of your trainers, a lot of the armor sets. I mean, hell, for you should be super excited that there is a Tengu armor styling.
Well, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's also basically a Kappa set too. One of our new monsters, that duck thing that you're going to be fighting, it looks straight up like a Kappa fucking monster and set.
I need to take a better look at it because I thought the same thing when I saw the training dummy that looked like it. More so than like a bug. Then again, I think I've only seen one brief clip of it. I haven't gone too much into, like, I don't like to spoil too much. I like to just
right.
So I have, even though we're both part of that one fan group, Monster Hunter International. I don't. Unless there's something I really, really care about, I don't scroll past people just posting random pictures of Rise because I want to be surprised at a lot of the monsters. But I do need to check that one though for sure.
Yeah, I think one of the bowgun sets that they have for the demo, they're wearing that armor. It looks pretty fucking hardy. It looks pretty cool.
I have to take a look at it because
and it's like the armor that you were pointing out. That they have for the demo for that Tengu-esque armor. Like, I was kind of sad because it was like a bow gun armor too. Actually, it might have been the bow, and I haven't really gotten into the bow, but like having that on the demo kind of makes me want to check it out a bit, just to check out that armor and everything too.
Which, of course, in the main game, I'm sure it'll have. That's the thing too. Like in World, which we haven't, at least I haven't seen anything in World, they kind of done away with bowgun ranged and melee having to get two different armor sets. So I wonder if Rise will be the same. Is that same armor set on the bow will be just as good for, say, your gun lance or longsword or whatever weapon you've been enjoying lately.
Right.
So, and it's good. My only disappointment is it's not the as we modeled for your caricature, the long nose, I guess more humanoid Tengu look. The one with the more classic Raven kind of style, which is especially evident in the Palico's costume for whatever. Which I'm not even sure if they said what monster drops that set. So who knows what we might see.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, what they did show off that the Kezu's back.
Yeah.
The Tigrex is back, and I mean the big one that they announced was Mitsuzune from Generations is making a return.
The first of the 4 flagship monsters Generations got. Usually there's always one big baddie for everyone. Which Generations, granted, was kind of a greatest hits of the past, which kind of makes sense into that. But they did include 4 new ones, including Mitsuzune, which fits right in with, again, the Japanese aesthetic being very much like modeled after a Japanese dragon. But for me, as much as I want to keep playing the demo, I'm already finding myself like, okay, it's only 2 quests. I can't lead anything. I'm loving it. It's fun. It's great. But I'm already back on GU more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Steph and I jumped on it. Like, I did a bunch of hunts with John the other day.
Okay.
And like, oh my god, I don't know if it's just me trying to get used to this like game and like the wire bug and everything.
Yeah.
The fucking Mitsuzune fucked us up so bad. Like, I think we failed the hunt like 2 or 3 times before we actually like beat it.
Right. Oh no, that thing hits hard as hell. I haven't beaten it yet.
Yeah, it's just like we really need to just all team up and go and fight it at some point.
We have to,
because it was just but it was kind of cool. So Steph could experience it. That, like, the maps are all open world now. You don't have to load in from zone to zone. The ability to pick items up while you're moving and take items like meat and potions and stuff like that while you're moving in combat.
Those quality of life changes that were made in Monster Hunter World. Which make it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still going back to GU. I still got the muscle memory of running out the zone if need be, or going somewhere to drink my potion and flex as you have to, apparently, in Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Which
and it was one of those things that I was like, it's been like quite a while since I've played World, and I never got around to Iceborne, which I'm actually regretting now because like holy shit, it looks so much fun now, and I really wish I would have got back into it, but I don't know, I just didn't really get that desire until the Rise stuff started popping up, and then I got Generations Ultimate, and we've been like playing the shit out of it.
Yeah, and right now is like with Rise coming out here just in like a little over a couple months. I'd rather just keep enjoying GU on the Switch, than putting down money on World. But you never know. Like once, even after Rise comes out, if it's if I feel like I need to jump on World again, I might actually pick up Iceborne then. Hopefully on a
That's true.
much better markdown price.
Right. Yeah.
But I doubt it.
I'm sure
yeah.
that they will though, since like a new game in the series has come out. But at the same time, it's for a completely different console and PC.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could not be the case that they mark it down.
I did want to ask you real quick. You have a Switch Lite, right?
No, I got the next generation of the Switch, like the second one.
Yeah. I was going to ask how it is on handheld. I've only played on TV mode. With,
right. And that being said, though, like when Steph and I started playing, we only have one TV in our living room, like most people do. So I kind of started out on the TV, and then I let her switch to the TV since she was just starting the game.
Right.
So I just started going handheld on Generations Ultimate, and that's kind of what I got used to. And honestly, like it felt fine playing it as a handheld game. Like I feel like I did fine hunting everything, and I mean like that's kind of the way that we went in with it. But it was kind of funny going from GU straight to Rise. Because on a DS, since it's a port from a DS, they don't have trigger buttons, they just have bumpers. So like I'm sitting over here trying to use the bumper to put my shield up and everything on Gunlance, and I keep like putting it up to like sprint or whatever, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I was just asking because at one point when I got GU, even though again at least I started on the 3DS. So you would think it would be okay, but I found playing it in portable mode, just the way the Switch is, which I noticed you got grips for yours, which may help for portable play. Yeah. But or maybe I'm just spoiled ever since I got my Pro controller and play on TV. I can't play Monster Hunter at least. I've only really experienced it with Monster Hunter when I have had to take things portable. I find it harder to play now, and that I like my controller. I guess I don't. Maybe it's a mental thing. I don't know, but it's still either way. Like I've got Rise digitally pre-ordered because I was like, I was gonna buy it physical, but I was really only if I could have gotten the collector edition.
Right. So I was really hoping that they had a Rise Switch come out, and I mean if they do, I'm still gonna look into getting it.
Honestly, if they do put out a Monster Hunter Rise Switch, because I still have the old model, which has kind of the shitty battery life. If my money's there, I might end up having to grab it because I've been thinking about upgrading anyway, and I thought at one point I really thought about just going ahead and getting a light because if I was. No, for up until recently, I'd never minded playing it portable. It was perfectly fine, and I only had one issue with one game. But like I do like having it on the TV though, because unlike most people, we actually have two TVs in the living room because my wife got to watch her stories. I got to play my games.
Right.
So that way we can still spend the quality time because she won't game with me. But no, Rise is looking super fun. I do need to. I need to go in there and make sure that is in fact the Kappa, so I know my first monster to farm. Complete set.
And just to kind of like pimp it, just because I don't know, I've really enjoyed playing with it. I was having the worst time whenever we started playing Generations Ultimate with like clicking in the left joystick and maximizing the map and accidentally hitting the right trigger and stuff. Bringing up chat in the middle of a fight whenever I'm meant to block and stuff like that. So a friend of mine, Anna, actually mentioned that her boyfriend got the this Hori Nintendo Switch Split Pad Pro, and it's actually marketed, by Nintendo. And it's like the best thing ever for playing with handheld mode, because it replaces the what are they, Joy-Cons, with like almost full-size controller panels, so you have full-size buttons and joysticks.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot of like there's these off brands have accessories that kind of snap around the existing Joy-Cons in the system.
Yeah, yeah.
And these are actually full blown like Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, so the one part about them that I think is like a negative that people talk about is they don't have their own battery. So they kind of, people say that they drain the Switch itself pretty bad, but I haven't seen that, honestly. And I mean, even if whenever the battery does get low, I just plug it in and keep playing,
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's really comfortable. Like, my wrists were starting to hurt with just the Joy-Cons and everything.
Right.
So I like, for an extra little Christmas gift, I got myself those and got Steph a Pro controller. So
I may be in fact putting a black one on my wish list as we speak.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I don't need it right now, but that might be one for the future.
Yeah, and it's like kind of took some getting used to. They have some extra buttons on there that I haven't really messed with that you supposedly can program and everything.
Oh,
yeah. But no, it's been awesome. It's been really comfortable on my wrists and my hands in general. So I've really been digging that for sure.
No, well, very cool. And I'm also glad that you got your own Switch. So, because I've been able to run with both you and Stephanie, and it's been a lot of fun. And I'm glad. So, always good. Apparently we also need to hook up with John so we can at least get the mighty threesome back with now Stephanie
right.
Full force. Wait a minute.
Man, I was trying, how John and I do games a lot of the times that we'll like jump into something for like a couple weeks and then like burn ourselves out on it and go on to something new.
Yeah.
Sure. I was trying really hard to get him to play Generations Ultimate with us, but I think he's just going to wait for Rise to come out to play with us.
What a loser.
Oh, God, I know. Jeez.
I mean, it's like $15, John. Come on.
Seriously, John, it's $15.
I mean, for 2 months of joy and fun with us, which I don't know. Granted, this close, like, if I didn't already have it, I don't know. Honestly, though, if you had said you bought it, then I would have bought it to play with you. But like, if I probably, if this close to the new one coming out and I didn't already own Generation, then I probably wouldn't have bothered. Other than something to play with you, obviously. But so anything else going on in your world?
Oh man, upgrading my PC so I could actually play, stuff that it came out this generation on ultra settings. So that's awesome.
That's awesome.
So another thing that we did, like, I don't know, been just, like I said, jumping in and out of games. Still been playing No Man's Sky a little bit. I finally kind of hit that in-game point where I farmed an organic ship, which was it was really interesting. So you get this thing called a void egg, and then you put your ship in warp, and you get a message from some kind of alien species, and it gives you coordinates. So you warp to a system, and then
issues here.
What's
Jared,
up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh no. What's going on?
Oh boy.
What have you done? Our recording, it's not going to be perfect. All right, can you hear me now? Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I completely lost Jerry's vocal, so I hope he was saying entertaining things. Somehow I think I somehow muted the earphone part of my mic because I saw you on the audio mixer that you were still going. I just don't know what the hell you said, but I'm sure it was fascinating and fantastic. And we're just going to keep rolling through it because this is real life, people.
No, it's part of going through and not editing things out. So you're welcome for that candid response to us having technical issues.
Yeah, fun times.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, they had this really long, arduous thing to farm a living ship in the game, and it was like the last update that they did. And it takes like 4 or 5 days to actually do it because you have to wait so long for things to mature for your ship, and it's real wild. I'll have to send you screenshots of it at some point.
Oh yeah, I definitely have to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing that we kind of got into was Red Dead Online. Was actually $5 over the holiday season, so we got that, and it's kind of what caused me to upgrade my PC. So we've been having fun with that lately. It's the online version of Red Dead Redemption 2. So
that's been good because I don't know. I played I only played Red Dead 1, and the online was kind of just go run into the town, wreck shit, and get points or something. Like, it wasn't too much for me.
Yeah, so it's interesting in the aspect of like, you create your character, you're in the Old West. It's almost kind of like a Westworld story, right? So you're like running around, there's open world, so people can come in and fuck with you at any time. You have a camp, so you can create a posse, and then your posse and you all have a camp together and stuff. And then there's just missions and stuff you can do. The biggest thing about it, though, is they've gone into that really like bad realm of like microtransactions.
Oh boy.
Where like, it's not like pay to win necessarily, but it's a lot of like cosmetic stuff and everything. And then they kind of make it difficult to get like money somewhat.
Right.
And then like, one of the funner things about the single player game is you could go out and find like rare and neat horses, tame them, bring them back to the stable and saddle them up, and then they're in your stable. Well, in this one, they don't want you to do that. They want you to buy your horses with the money you make through the game. So like, even if you go and tame a horse and bring it to the stable, you can't do shit with it. So that was one of my biggest gripes. Not to mention like Brandon and Steph and I were playing last night, and we encountered a fucking hacker that was like, glitching all over the place and killing us, and we weren't able to kill them, and they were going invisible and stuff. It was really annoying and almost made Steph stop playing, but we just swapped to a different server and just continued our game, and everything was fine.
Wow. That's always a shame.
Yeah, I know. Some people like just ruining it for the rest, and it's like, what's the point of even doing that? Like, I don't know. Some people are just really weird how they want to get their kicks off.
Yeah, they ain't got nothing better to do in their life, apparently.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been doing much else other than, we mentioned in the last episode released, was that, still on Shadowlands, World of Warcraft. I got my character maxed out, still doing a lot of the faction and grind and getting up all the alts up. And they did something really cool, though, with this one. I did want to point out for those who remember the grind of MMOs and World of Warcraft especially. Once you get to 50, which now they lowered they kept all your stats, but they lowered the level numbers. So max is now 60, and you can do so like you create a brand new character, level 1, or if you got one of the allied races, you start at level 10. You can go to this gnome named Chromie, who basically can alter time, and you can literally play your entire character up to level 50 in any expansion you want.
Whoa.
So, like, say you really loved Wrath of the Lich King. You want to go back and you can play that as soon as maybe at level 10. I don't know. I have nothing but allied races now. I haven't started the basic one in a while, and they all start at 10. But at least at 10, you can go talk to Chromie and go straight to Lich King, and your gear will be just as same as anywhere else at level 50. As you level up through the game. And then what's cool is once you play through the main campaign in the new content in Shadowlands, and pick one of the 4 factions that you want to be a part of. Once you get to 50 with an alt, you can choose either play the campaign or go straight to joining one of the factions and doing world quests, side quests, dailies, that kind of stuff. You'll just skip the campaign altogether if you want.
Interesting. So, like, what's the difference between, like, you were saying basic and an allied character? What do you mean by that?
Basic race is like when you start the game, you have, of course, like say a lion side, the human, dwarf, gnome, elf, all your standard ones. But in the later expansions, they actually had quest lines you could do. It's a lot of rep grinding, which they made a lot easier now if you haven't already unlocked them. Sadly, I did most of it before, so I had many hours of just mindless rep grinding, which I hate. But I had to get the big burly pirate guys with the beards and the guts. I had to be me in the game. I usually play the exact opposite of me, unless they literally put me in the game, and it's damn near. If you see a screenshot, you'll know it's beard, dark hair. We got our guts, they're great. But so you do rep quests and storyline quests to unlock what's called an allied race. These are usually like it's like the pirates are humans, but they're pirates. They're bigger humans, and we have Void Elf, which is different from the Dark Elf. Each of them have their own unique mounts and unique racial abilities. And you start. They have mechagnomes.
That actually, that's what I was just thinking whenever you're noting those, because I do remember seeing something on that when they first announced the mechagnomes.
Yeah, the mechagnome, which I do have a mechagnome warlock named Robo Tengu, just so y'all know.
That's fantastic.
Well, of course, my pirate's called Bearded Kappa, so I mean, you had to, we got to rep the yokai delinquents on the game. But yeah, so they're basically like little. Like, they're the same races you already had, and the Horde has the same. I just don't know what they are because I haven't played Horde. Sadly, I love the Horde, but my buddy that got me back in the game is all about the Alliance, so I went with his stuff. But they got their own variants of theirs as well that you can unlock through these things. And now, like, they start at level 10, which means if you create an alt with one of them, you can go straight to just jumping into whatever expansion you want to play through. And I mean, and you can jump between them however you want to do it. But like, you can. I've gotten to level 50 with an alt playing nothing but Lich King, playing nothing but Burning Crusade. So I think it's pretty cool for leveling up alts. And then again, once you've already done Shadowlands, say maybe you didn't really like the storyline that much, you just you like the daily rep grinds and whatnot. You can go straight to that with an alt once you've completed the main quest of getting to your faction. So I think it's some pretty cool, like, quality of life changes they've done. And of course, you hear unless you talk to fans, quote unquote, I'm making with my fingers, who are just non-stop bitching about the game, but for some reason they're on the fucking Warcraft fan page on Facebook. I haven't played in 10 years. I'm just here to bitch. Like,
oh yeah, they must be like those Star Wars and Marvel quote-unquote fans.
Just go find a knife and run into it, okay? Just do me a fucking favor. That's still one of my favorite things to tell somebody is from the 40-year-old virgin. Fucking great. But yeah, I've been playing that, and of course Monster Hunter Generation, which we've already talked about for a good chunk of the early episode. And you know what? I'm hope you've already investigated the eShop on your Switch and went to sort free games, because there's a shit ton of free games on your Switch if you don't know.
I have not yet.
One of my favorites is Tetris 99. Which I've always been a big Tetris guy. It's just a fun, and I paid the $10 for the extra content, but you can without just it gives you some extra modes to play. But even if you don't do that, you get the main game as well as a couple other variant modes you can play, and completely free as long as you have the online thing. And what it is a battle royal Tetris. Like, you have
that's awesome.
98 other players. You can choose to target specific players, or just like say the leaders, whoever's attacking you. Because versus Tetris, when you score lines, you send garbage over to your opponent. Now picture that with 98 other players, and when you win, it's such a good feeling. But what's also been cool is that every now and again they do a thing where you play the battle royal mode and earn up to 100 points, and you get a new theme. It could be anything. It's usually of like recent game releases. Like there's a Pokemon Sword and Shield one where it changes the tiles, the background, and they just did a Kirby one, and just all you gotta do is play the game and you unlock them. You just got you just earn enough of those. Plus they had already previous themes you earned in there from earning points from just playing the game. So that's definitely a free one I would recommend. Anyone who has a Switch, if you have it, if you like puzzle games at all, I love the shit out of Tetris. I've been playing it since the NES days.
Yeah, that definitely explains that, because there's been a few times whenever I've like got on the Switch and I'm like, Sean's playing Tetris. Like, oh,
Dude,
okay.
I love Tetris. That's like,
Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
much fun. And that one again, it's a free one. And but they got, they have DC Universe Online is on the Switch for
Right.
free. You know what I mean?
See, I
I
didn't
mean,
know that
yeah,
DC Universe Online was on there. That's interesting.
yeah. There's even the Monster Hunter Lite game. Oh Lord, now I'm gonna forget what it's called. I've tried it. I don't really care for it that much, but
You talking about the one that's based on the, or that has an anime for it?
maybe.
Stories?
No, no,
Is it?
not stories. No, no. This one's
Oh,
it's made by the people who made it, and this is not a judgment of the quality of the game. It's from the same studio that made Fortnite, but
interesting. They made another Monster Hunter game.
well, it's similar.
Like,
It's a lot more hack and slash,
right?
but it's not full on like Monster Hunter strategy hack and slash as we tend to call it.
Yeah. That's hmm. I'm trying to find any information on it at all, and I
Me
don't
too, and
see.
I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah.
I swear it starts with a D. But anyway, there is a ton of free Switch games, so that I would you or anybody else should definitely check out because to me again that's that whole thing of like everyone's like, well, I got the Switch, I played Smash Brothers, but now I'm bored. I'm like, motherfucker, do you realize what all is on that? I mean, like I said, Tetris 99 is great. If Fortnite's your gig, there. Oh, Dauntless. There it is. I found a Switch of free to play games. Dauntless. I call it is it's more button masher Monster Hunter, but it is hunt a giant monster, collect loot, build your armor, build
Um,
your weapons. But it is a lot more button mashy. And if Monster Hunter is a little too technical, which I get that again, like we mentioned before, especially the older ones having that steep learning curve. Bam,
yeah.
bam, right there. Dauntless would
Yeah.
be
And
your jam, I would imagine.
yeah, now that I'm looking at this, like I've gotten so many ads about this game.
And of course,
Yeah.
make sure you do go on and if you have bought the online, make sure you download the Nintendo and Super Nintendo app where you have a ton of those old school games. You can also play for free.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's like I said, that's to you, Jerry, as well as anybody listening who may not have fully explored your Switch. You got it for that one or two games that you absolutely loved, and you're starting to feel
Yeah.
like, oh, there's nothing else on there. Bullshit, motherfucker. Appreciate history and go play Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past from Super Nintendo on your fucking Switch. Go play Breath of
Listen,
Fire. Yeah.
listen. They need to go ahead and just fucking release Majora's Mask remake on the Switch. Like
Oh,
we got it for 3DS,
yeah.
but I want it on the fucking Switch, man.
Um,
It was my favorite Legend of Zelda game.
we mentioned time travel and knowing the future.
Yeah.
Uh, this is not going to become a thing unless it becomes a thing.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
I'm going to make a call right now.
Yeah.
Last year was Mario's anniversary, and they released
Oh, dude.
collections and a lot of special stuff. Guess what's this year's
Yeah.
anniversary?
Oh, yes. Do it.
Legend of
Fucking
Zelda. I'm
yes.
predicting at least Ocarina of Time,
Yeah.
if not maybe a 2-pack, because they already did the 3D Mario bundle.
Hmm.
I could see at least Ocarina and Majora's Mask double bundle that'll sell like gangbusters.
Yeah.
We're probably going to get the Breath of the Wild 2 release date at least this year announced. This is going to be a big year for Zelda. I'm also hoping for I would buy a Zelda, like even though I can play Link to the Past already now on the thing. Actually, you got all the Zeldas. No, never mind. They already gave it all to me. I was going to say though, but for say a physical collector, I would love to have like the old school games all bundled on one cartridge.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's including like the GBA and Game Boy Color games. You know what I mean? Like that would be really cool because not all of those are available on there. But like like Minish Cap, Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons. That'd be a very cool. But like beyond all that, and I don't know if they're waiting for an anniversary. I don't know what the hang up is. How come Nintendo has the rights and re-release ability for all the PlayStation Final Fantasies? but none of the Nintendo ones. None of the Nintendo or Super Nintendo era Final Fantasies are available on the Switch e-console. I would love a 1 through 6 collection. So
it's kind of baffling sometimes.
It's weird, but we got 7 through 12, except for 11, obviously, because that's the MMO. But like we have literally every other Final Fantasy that damn near all the Final Fantasies that came out from the PlayStation era, with the exception of Tactics and some of those spin-off ones.
My biggest port that I want over, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about it, and I bring it up anytime there's any kind of like horror games mentioned or whatever, because it's like my one big horror game that I've ever gotten into. Eternal Darkness from fucking GameCube.
Oh,
just give us a goddamn port already. What is wrong with you, Nintendo? Jesus.
Yeah.
Or make a sequel or something. Give me something from it.
Dude, I mean that's I've never played it. Fortunately I never came across it during my years of owning a GameCube. At least not for a good enough price to make me want to pick it up. I know a lot about it. I've seen a lot of reviews and playthroughs of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that one's definitely got a cult following. But there's a ton of games from Nintendo's past that like I would hope to see, because the Switch is pretty much a PS3, Xbox 360, era console portable.
Right.
So like as far as like you want to go down like the dream list of game ports, I want the Mass Effect trilogy.
Right.
I want the Dragon Age 1 and 2. Fuck
man, I would go back and play like the majority of those games if they popped up on the Switch.
Give me Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2.
Ugh. Stop it, Sean.
I'm just like even going to like say the Nintendo stuff. Well, again, I'm still waiting on Phantasy Star Online 2. I hope it plays better on a console than it does on PC. I just don't like the controls. But even with the ridiculous 3-foot pompadour that is available on it. But
bro, like, I'm telling you, like if the females have the pompadour hairstyle and Rise, I might make that switch.
Dude, I mean, join it. We're a lot prettier and we have nicer legs. But like, oh man, you got me. See, now you got me on ports. Like, I want Phantasy Star Online, not the new one. Like, give us the Dreamcast / GameCube versions on the Switch. Give me the Tales games that were on there. You know what I mean? There's so many games, and it could all be down the line. Switch is still fairly new. Like what, 2 years old maybe?
When did I get Stephanie hers? I don't think it was last year. I think it was Christmas of 19.
So I'm checking right now.
Yeah,
oh, nope. Never mind. March 2007. Yeah, because 2017. Because remember in Japan, we went to that convention. Right. So Brian wanted to line up to get a chance to play it before it released. We were there in February.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, so okay.
Like it's funny because that just like I just remembered that whenever I was like going through those photos and stuff a while back, whenever we were talking about you cosplaying there for that event and everything.
Yeah, that's right. I don't. How could I forget that? That was such a big. That was one of the big must-dos for our buddy Brian, who is the sole reason we got to go to Japan. He wanted that we're going to this convention, and so I'm going to line up to play the Switch. Little did he know, you should have lined up yesterday.
Yeah. So everybody had that same plan. They came to Japan just for this.
Yeah. So sadly, Brian did not, but we still got to go to an awesome video game convention in Japan, where, like we've said before, I got to cosplay in Japan. So 4 years old, okay. So, but still, I guess because I only got it maybe a year ago, it just kind of feels like it. But yeah,
right.
But so and like Nintendo is like, there's already of course rumors going out about them announcing it's called a Nintendo Switch Plus, not just like the upgrade like what you got. Like a whole new, more powerful system. That's all speculation. We'll say it here now because it's one of my favorite YouTubers to watch. Wood from Beat 'em Ups has laid out that prediction in one of his videos. So we'll see if he called it. But I'm laying down the prediction thing of we're going to get a Zelda collection for this Nintendo 64 ones this year.
Yeah, I'm so down for all of it. Like just let it all be released. I was really hoping that we'd get like, you know, they'd announce the new version of the Switch and then they'd announce a Rise new version of the Switch.
And like, okay, so the last time, let me see when the releases were, because the last new console, like special console they released was for Animal Crossing. The game, let's see, the game came out March 20th of 2020. So let's see what the system dropped. Wikipedia. Yeah, so let's see what the system dropped. I'm working on it.
Yeah. Like, no, like with the release dates and everything.
Yeah, trying to find it. But like,
yeah,
I want to say that the console came out close to the same time. Because I'm not getting I'm not seeing when it actually released. But I'm pretty sure it dropped shortly after. So if I'm right, I can search this longer, but we're recording. But
the people are waiting, Sean.
I know. Well, they can Google it them damn selves. Okay, I can't do everything.
they're like, listen, man, you've been on this for like 10 minutes, and I Googled it in 5 seconds, so we already know. Now, like, yeah.
March 20th. So it released the same time. So if they're gonna do it, they're going to do it around March 26th when Rise releases. Hopefully they'll announce it soon, so I can know if I need to go ahead and drop that pre-order down.
I know.
Because this game, the demo shut down the eShop servers. So many people downloaded it. So you know that system's going to get bought up quick and fucking flipped and hawked all over eBay for $20,000. Because and which I'm like, you know what? Go fuck yourselves, because the Switch, the Animal Crossing version, which is the new model Switch with the game included, with the special decals, the color Joy-Cons, is $399. You know, the normal one is $299. So you know, you're technically you're buying a $59 game, you know, $60 game, as well as some special, then $40 for the special edition look. And you know what? I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. No, that I could totally do. But like somebody like buying it up and then like they did with, you know, with the PS5.
Yeah.
And then, you know, upcharging by like 25% or some bullshit like that. It's like, why? Why do you do this?
And you know what? I'm gonna do the same thing I did. Not that I have, but like what I saw recently. Because the Animal Crossing one got bought up quick. Couldn't find it. Brian was trying to get one for his mom, because she doesn't do a lot of games, but like something like Animal Crossing, she can do. And he wanted to get her, like, if I'm getting it for her, I want to get her the actual, like, the special edition one, so she has her Animal Crossing Switch that she'll only ever play Animal Crossing on. And he couldn't find it. He couldn't find it forever. I think he managed to get one from Japan through his connections. Because, you know, the Switch is region free. It's built-in region free. If you can find a Japanese-only Switch cartridge that has English options, you can actually buy a Japanese game and play it on your American Switch.
Yeah, so it's always been a good thing about Nintendo consoles, for sure.
And what I was getting to, though, was like he couldn't find it, other than, of course, scalpers, hella marked up, and he's also not about that life. I was in Walmart last week, and I walked through their section, and there's one sitting in the counter. It'll be there eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't ever pay super markups unless you're desperate in Japan like I was.
Yeah, just make those people sit on that stuff until they have to lower the fucking price of it.
Yep. I said I've been guilty of paying some markups, but it's something I'm like, I have to have it now in my life or I will die.
Right.
But so yeah, if a Rise Switch edition Switch comes out, I will definitely pick that up, because again, I got the older version, and like, so I'd feel justified in an upgrade. Of course, as soon as I buy that version, they'll announce the Switch Ultra Plus Rise Edition that plays everything in 40,000K, whatever the fuck. I don't know what I'm even saying anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. No, it's awesome. I think other than like the Switch news and the Monster Hunter Rise demo, and we talked about it, and we didn't even announce one of the biggest changes that they're implementing in this one, other than the Wirebug monster riding.
Yes, yeah.
Well,
actually, let's talk about the Wirebug for those who may have played it. Monster Hunter don't know. This is one of the new features of Rise.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, like it's really interesting. And I wasn't sure how it was going to work, but Monster Hunter games, they implement something seemingly new in each game. Like for Generations, it was the different styles that you could do.
Yeah.
And I haven't really fucked around with any other styles in that because I'm basic. But the guild style has been pretty great. And it's kind of cool because they're bringing a move that I really like from Generations into Rise. And I think it's going to be a Wirebug thing. That's like the blast dash or whatever with the gun lance, where you like launch yourself at the monster from a distance, which is really great for a gun lance because you got to like figure out ways to close the distance and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
But so the Wirebug is really interesting. It's a way to get around terrain, get away from monsters, and even do attacks and different other kind of skills as far as monsters are concerned. I mostly just used the gun lance one. So like the attacks that I had was a attack to launch up into the air and then to come down and do a combo. And then they had one that I could not fucking figure out. That was a deflecting one that's supposed to raise your sharpness, but I suck at anything that has to do with like countering and everything, so I could not get the timing right for that. Yeah.
With Sword and Shield, it has one because basically the Wirebug is damn near like Spider-Man. Like you launch that bug and it gives you something to swing. The Sword and Shield, which is my main, has one that'll give you kind of a lift up in the air for a mounting kind of slash from the air, which I think most weapons can use that version. The other one is a oh crap, now I'm doubting myself. It was either on the Sword and Shield or it was on the dual blades. The other attack is like just you're whipping the wire around and it's just slashing everything around them.
Yeah, that's for Sword and Shield because Steph was doing that one.
So let me ask you, do you like traveling on the Wirebug or do you prefer the Palamute?
So far, definitely the Palamute because I haven't mastered like the Wirebug travel.
Yeah, same.
And half the time whenever I jump and do the Wirebug, like I'll just do that wall run and then backflip off, and I'm like, it's so frustrating.
Yeah,
I did see somebody go from like half map to like the starting zone with just the Wirebug because they have that flip that you can do to make extra time for your stuff to refresh.
Right.
And you apparently can throw barrel bombs while you're in the air too.
Yeah.
So they were doing a combination of flips, Wirebug, and then bomb throws. And they made it like halfway through the map. And it was like, Jesus Christ, is this like... And that was kind of an interesting thing too, right? So you start off with just 2 Wirebugs that you can use. And after you... use one to move around, it has to refresh before you could use it again. Right. They have an extra one that you'll have for a limited amount of time, so you could have up to 3, and then your attacks will use up different amounts of them. Like I think your big attack will use up 2, and then a regular attack will use up 1.
Right. Yeah. So like I said, I think it's definitely going to be something you're going to use more, and like I think I'll definitely be getting more practice with it, I'm sure. But like right now, just with the demo, I just prefer just jumping on the Palamute and just running with the doggo, which is also going to be cool. They introduce now the dog companion as well as the Palico cat companion. You could have 1 of each or 2 of each, depending on which one, how you want to kind of build your party.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Since we were just playing like 2-player and stuff, right. I didn't really think about that. But I guess usually whenever you were going out on a hunt, single player, you'd have two Palicos with you. So it makes sense that you could either have 2 Palicos or a Palico and a Palamute, which makes sense because like, man, Steph and I did a hunt and I picked the Palico and I was like, it sucks getting around without the fucking dog. Like, the maps are so massive.
Yeah, Yeah, and that's why you really do gotta. And if you like those situations, or even 4-player. Well, no, because we saw in one of the videos though, 4 players. I think you can still bring one of the other because
Yeah,
they showed a video. Now, granted, unless it was just kind of showing things, it was
yeah,
4 players, 2 on the wire bugs, 2 on Palamutes.
yeah. And I wonder if like maybe they have like some kind of interesting like default setting. Like if you're playing 4 players, you could just call the dog to be your like mount or whatever, and then it
Oh
goes
yeah.
away after that. Kind
Oh,
of thing.
maybe.
Um, but yeah, just the accessibility that they provide is really great.
Yeah, I do like for at least with Sword and Shield that like you can run your Palamute all the way to the monster and hit B, and you'll do a leaping slash off
Yeah,
your dog. It's
yeah,
like I said, yeah,
yeah.
like Rise is gonna be so much fucking fun. I
Mhm.
cannot wait. Like,
Yeah, and then like I was saying earlier, one of the things that they debuted this last what was it Tuesday? I think Tuesday last week,
yeah,
or maybe it was Thursday or Friday.
no,
God, I
last
so
week.
mixed up in my days. Yeah, last week. They the big thing that they announced because I don't think before this we had seen anybody mounting monsters or anything, and then
Right.
toppling them for everybody to hit. And we find out that the reason why is because you can use your wire bug to ride monsters,
Yeah,
and that leads to some interesting stuff because you could like if you have 2 big monsters in an area, you can go to the one that's not your main target, fight it down, control it, and then go and attack the monster that is your target with that one.
oh yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and they still have like whenever you're done writing it, it gets wired down to the ground,
Hmm.
and you can still attack it, and it has limited time before it can get up, or it even you can smash it up against walls to do damage to it,
Yeah,
which is awesome.
so they kind of changed up mounting, which
Hmm.
I'm gonna kind of miss because that's I don't know.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed it. I mean, on Generations, I still play aerial style, which
Hmm.
allows you to jump off the monster itself or anything near you for a leaping, mounting slash attack, and that's like my
Hmm.
bread and butter, especially solo right now. I'm playing through the hub quest, which is designed for multiplayer, but with a sleep bomb slash mounting style.
Hmm.
I'm not having too much trouble yet with I'm in the 5-star challenge ones, and I'm working through the main quest now to get even further because my next upgrades need to be in the 6-star. So I'm just going ahead and ripping through that. But I'm still looking forward to it. I'm sure sleep bombing, which is my bread and butter. I love doing that.
Hmm.
You know, solo
Yeah,
at least.
I Steph and I actually did the stuff to unlock the Brachydios in the 3-star quests
Oh, nice,
for
nice.
guild. Yeah, so we kind of farmed it a bit, and I got my my gun lance, got my blast
I love the
lance.
Brachydios. That's
Yeah,
like that's what I probably need to do for some of my other weapon sets is get some of his
yeah,
parts because I mean who doesn't love a boxing T Rex with at
yeah,
least like bomb slime? Like, it's just
yeah.
one of the cooler ones. Of course, I need my Zenogre because I love my
Mhm.
Zenogre.
Yeah, Steph loves that the freaking Brachydios. Like and it's kind of funny with her because she's such a completionist whenever she plays games,
Right.
and she is literally going down every weapon tree. Like
Oh
whenever she
wow.
sees a weapon and she's like, "Oh, this is one that I want to make." So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another weapon that I can build
Yeah.
up to that, and then make that. So she's got like 30 or 40 different sword and shields, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. But it's kind of good, because you can basically have a weapon for every monster that you fight.
Oh no, for
um,
sure. And
yeah.
honestly, that mindset, like for me, it came from like quest grinding and MMOs.
Hmm.
Like that's the mindset you have to truly get the most out of Monster Hunter.
Right.
Like if I start getting bored, I do switch up my weapons. Like if I feel like start feeling repetitious with my sword and shield sleep bombing,
Hmm.
I haven't ground up any other sword and shields because like to me that's still the ultimate way to play it. But like
Hmm.
I have dual blades, which I start going for all the different elements. Or once I unlock, which I need to get the Brachydios, and I need to get to the oh, what was that? Is that flame griffin kind of lion face thing?
Oh shit, I forgot its fucking name.
But you know what I'm talking about. It
Yeah,
creates
yeah, yeah,
bombs
yeah.
and fire, and I had a great sword set. Remember, I had the skull helmet and it had like all looked like it damn near looked like the Skull Knight from Berserk. If anyone has seen that, like it looked very cool look, as well as having a badass sword set. Which of course we could go to Gaijin Hunter on YouTube for those of you who want to get into Monster Hunter. I recommend him and Eric's Gaming. I'll put links in this video. They are my go-to for like mix sets, because you can always just farm a monster and make the entire armor out of that one. But to truly get deep into Monster Hunter, you want different parts from different monsters that all complement each other to make an ultimate set. And those are two of the YouTubers I usually look for recommendations on how to build some really powerful weapon and armor sets.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those great things, and just kind of mentioning like the armor sets and everything. And I didn't even realize it until Steph and I played with two of her friends. The monster you're trying to think of was Teostra, by the way.
Teostra, there it is.
Yeah, that thing's fucking terrifying. But apparently once you get into G rank, you can glam your stuff and make it look however you want.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't realize that until we started playing with them, and I was like, damn, I guess I never, and I don't know if it's just in Generations or Generations Ultimate. Okay. But yeah, they were glammed to look like basically like Japanese high school girls, kind of.
Because of
so
course. Okay. Because like in World, they had some I forget what they called, like layered armor, where basically it's kind of the same thing. I guess they called it glam in this one, which is kind of like, isn't that the same term they use in Final Fantasy 14?
Glamming, yeah.
Yeah. So which is cool. I've never gotten to G rank in Generations Ultimate, so. I don't think the last time we hit G rank was probably 4. I don't think we even got that far in the world. So that might be that's going to be a goal, at least for before Rise comes out. I want to hit G rank and make myself a pretty high school girl.
Right.
Or see what the options are. See what kind of cool. You know what we need, because you saw the background you can have for your guild card. Crows.
Right. I know.
Got to get the delinquent look going, bro.
Yeah.
That's going to be a mission to get, because as soon as Rise comes out, I'm not going to give a shit about Generation Ultimate. So I got to.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those things that I was like going through, and like, you get some random item from like your traders or whatever, and it's like, yeah, this is cool and all, but like it's not better than what I have. So why would I ever make this armor? And now I know.
Right. No, but that's very cool. I didn't know G rank offered that option on there. That's definitely something to look forward to. Wow, yep. We have hit the 1 hour mark, and we've mainly talked about Monster Hunter, and I'm not mad.
Hey, surprise! I mean, I think we warned people, whenever we did our last Monster Hunter episode, that we were like, the closer we get to that game and that demo, we're gonna have another Monster Hunter episode. So just bear with us.
Yeah. So all I can assure you is that until March 26th, 2021, we most likely won't have another entire episode dedicated, but it's going to come up for sure.
We're going to go through Monster Hunter Greatest Hits.
We're going to take it through our top favorite monsters, and not just monsters, separated by category. Wyvern, 4-legged, 2-legged, funny looking. Which one do you want to hug? Your top 5 most huggable Monster Hunter monsters.
The fluffiest one, the one that most looks like a penis.
Leave the Kezu out of this, damn it. And
I will say, like, in that demo, I think the Insect Glaive is the Kezu set, and it looks so much better than the Generations Ultimate Kezu set.
Oh, really?
But not by much. Right. You still look like you're like just slapping on like white, gross skin onto your body. So
all right. So here's a quick question for you.
Okay.
3 monsters that we haven't seen confirmed for Rise from the previous games. Do you want in?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just real quick, I feel like first ones that come to your head.
Yeah. Well, we've already got Tigrex, so I've got that. I don't think they've mentioned Brachydios.
Yeah. That's definitely one for me too.
Which is a great one, which is a big one for me. And I don't think they've mentioned anything about monster variants, like Brute Tigrex or
right. That's me, like the base class, I guess. You could say of each of them.
Yeah. Damn it! You really put me on the spot with this, Sean.
Well, okay, I'm gonna say like I'm agree with you on Brachydios.
Yeah,
I want
you go.
Yeah, I want of course my Zinogre, which I don't think they've confirmed Zinogre.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I would say my third one I would like would be the was it the Glavenus?
Describe it. Oh, right.
The T-Rex with the blade tail that makes fire
Yep.
from Generations. Yep. I really liked that one. For just like 3, special mentioning the fluffy bat from World.
Oh my God, yes.
I want the fluffy.
I was
bat.
telling, I was telling Steph the other day. Yep, I want it. I want it so bad.
I forget its name, but it's forever fluffy bat.
Yeah, I totally would have remembered it if you hadn't just mentioned it. I'm just saying. Yeah, like
Palamu.
Yeah. Palomu. Yeah.
It's a big. Just picture the fluffiest white bat you could think, like fluffy flying creature with just a bat face that will eat your head off.
Yeah. I honestly, it's popped up in multiple games, and I really wouldn't mind seeing it come back as the Gormagala. It's always been like a really interesting fight in general, and it's just such a cool fucking monster.
See, that was my, you always remember your first. That was my first flagship monster, being in Monster Hunter 4. Which that's the other thing too. I will say, like with Rise, I don't know if we're going to get the same thing. I kind of hope we do. Do you remember how in 4 it had a real story to it, where you would travel to different villages and your caravan kind of grew? I'd like to see that kind of a story element return too. I was thinking about that while playing through Generations, which I know again Generations being kind of a greatest hits game anyway. Right. But like, you remember how like you would be traveling, and all of a sudden you got to take on a giant sand whale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those kind of specialty missions. I hope Rise has something like that. I will be mad if it doesn't, but I do miss that about 4. It makes me damn want to grab the 3DS sometime and just go play my 4. Go play 4 again for that element. Alone.
Yeah, and that was kind of a thing that I was mentioning to Steph, because all those characters make an appearance in Generations, right. And I'm like, oh, that was the captain of the airship from 4 Ultimate and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember the blacksmith and his apprentice and stuff like that. That was all really great.
For sure.
Yeah, and I mean, World had a pretty interesting story to it.
Yeah,
like,
World had
not as amazing as 4 Ultimate, but it was still really great. And I mean, like, we can pretty much tell that Rise is going to have somewhat of a story, because we still have the what is it, like there's some kind of monster variant or it was like the Rampage or whatever, the Monster Rampage.
Oh,
that they keep hinting about, but they're not really telling us anything about.
Right, which is very reminiscent to 4, where they have the I forget what they called it, but like the Gormagala was spreading it around.
Yeah, like the Blight or whatever it was.
That's what they called
it. Yeah.
So
yeah,
give me one more monster at least. One more monster that we haven't got that you need it in this game.
Give you one more monster. Yeah. I'll go 2. Because I don't think I've seen either one of these yet. Okay. But correct me if I'm wrong. Nargacuga. Because we just fought that not too long ago.
Right.
And honestly, the Yian Garuga has always been one that I've been like, I don't know, I really like that and the Yian Kutku. They're just like, the best throwbacks. I just really like both of those like fucking chicken monsters.
Can I be very honest with you?
Right now?
That my current the quest I have to do currently in Generation Ultimate before I get to the urgent quest is to kill both those things, and they are 2 of my least favorite monsters in all of fucking Monster Hunter. I hate the chicken bosses. I hate the chicken monsters. Never been a fan. But that's the beauty of it. There's so many. Everyone can like what they like. Even if it's a gangly chicken monster that poisons.
they're just so terrible and so annoying, but like, I don't know, there's some kind of weird charm. Because I remember like in whenever I've played the very first Monster Hunter, that was the first one I think that you encounter as far as wyverns go.
Yeah.
And it gave me such a hard time because I was playing by myself. I didn't really know how to play the game, and I was trying to use Greatsword, and like it took me forever. And that was like the first big hurdle that you had to overcome. And I was like, "Yay, I did this thing."
Okay, I can get that.
But
but fuck them birds. All right, well, we have gone on for time. I want to thank everybody who had the patience to actually sit back and listen to us rant about just Monster Hunter. Well, not just, but mainly Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
primarily. If you can't tell, we're super excited for the game, and we want to.
Yes.
Maybe our excitement will make you interested in checking it out. Jerry, thank you as always for joining me on here.
No, always a pleasure.
And if y'all liked what you heard, please like, comment, subscribe. And of course, the biggest thing we ask for is to share the video around. Share it all around to all your friends. Force it on them. Hook them up like a Clockwork Orange. Just even though you don't have to do their eyes because there's not really that much of a visual element. Do it anyway, so they're paying attention.
Yeah, but also do that to their ears as well.
Yeah, hook up the ears for them. But that's gonna do it for today. We appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you later.
Yeah. Oh, peace.